Kansas should just sit back and watch what happens in other states instead of jumping into unknown floodwaters. That's what one state senator told KCTV5 about the medical marijuana debate in Kansas.
But some people in the Sunflower State have decided that they can't wait any longer, especially as many of the state's neighbors make their own moves to legalize pot for recreational or medical use. KCTV5's Caroline Sweeney talked to two families who moved to Colorado and haven't looked back.
For 3.5 years, I would never wake up in the morning on my own. It would always be after a seizure.
In Kansas, she was a different kid. It was nonstop crying, screaming meltdowns.
Those are the voices of desperation and hope. Larry Burgess and Christine Gordon forced to leave Kansas for Colorado.
You made us suffer when we didn't have to.
For medical marijuana.
Her occupational therapist that has been working with her since January describes Autumn in January as a little zombie that just screeched.
Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, baby.
This is Christine Gordon's daughter, Autumn, in Kansas.
Do what you gotta do.
Seizing daily, using multiple prescriptions to help ease the symptoms of Dravet syndrome.
Yeah, that's a good girl.
With the pharmaceuticals, it was stack it, raise it, stack it, raise it. And she became a zombie. Pharmaceuticals in Kansas were hundreds of thousands. One of her pharmaceuticals, I want to say, was around $16,000 a month. And we are now spending maybe $120 on cannabis a month.
And this is Autumn in Colorado. Since moving here in late 2018 and starting medical cannabis, she hasn't had a seizure in more than 140 days. Usually a smiling kid, some moments are better than others. We moved down to the car so Autumn could be outside, but Christine Gordon says overall, things in Colorado are getting better.
I want to say about 2 months ago, she said, "Mama, I love you," for the first time in her life. And I don't think there are any words for that.
Baby.
I never thought I would hear that.
Baby. Baby.
It makes everything that we're going through worth it.
Gordon is part of an advocacy group, Bleeding Kansas. The grassroots organization is focused on bringing medical cannabis to the state.
During the 2019 legislative session, a group of lawmakers introduced a Safe Access Act, but it failed to get any traction. That left Kansas surrounded by states with medical marijuana programs. House Bill 2303 was a framework for legalizing marijuana in the state. More than 50 pages long, the legislation regulates cultivation, creates an ID program, and protects patients and caregivers from some legal action. It also argues legalizing marijuana is a states' rights issue, which is what we heard from one lawmaker. Earlier this month, we reached out to all federal lawmakers in both Kansas and Missouri. We only heard back from a few. One, Kansas Senator Pat Roberts, does not support legalizing marijuana on the federal level. The retiring senator told KCTV5 News the issue should fall to the states. That's the one thing he had in common with House Bill 2303. Both argue it's up to the states to make the decision, but today cannabis is still illegal in the Sunflower State, something Larry Burgess knows all too well.
Out of that arrest, I have, with all of my charges, I am 6 months shy of 25 years in prison.
Burgess was making dinner at his house in Fredonia, Kansas, when police showed up at his door in 2017.
It was quite the life-changing moment, to be honest.
He was growing one marijuana plant and making his own CBD oil to fight his grand mal seizures. He and his wife also crossed state lines for cannabis.
So we'd have to come out and stay 4 days for me to get enough medicine to last around 3 months, and we did that for a long time. I think the common misconception is, especially people from Kansas, is that the highway patrol are waiting right on the state line when you come back from Colorado, and it is absolutely opposite of that.
Now, Burgess doesn't have to leave home.
So it's a kind of a catch-22. It's beautiful to live out here. It's so nice to be able to get your medication freely or grow your own medication. here for whatever you need. But you're kind of stuck here once you're here, unless your state is legal and allows you to do that. So
Neither Burgess nor Gordon can come back to Kansas. They can't bring the medical marijuana with them. But would they if they could?
No.
Why?
You lost me forever. The way we were treated was not okay. The suffering we've been through was not okay.
Caroline Sweeney, KCTV5 News.